Check this out.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to 10 Minutes with Martha Wash. I have with me a multi-Grammy nominated singer who can sing any type of music.
Oh, my.
Any type of music. I mean, gospel, blues, jazz, country, and probably some more thrown in there. And just an all-around sweet lady, Miss Dorothy Moore. How are you, darling?
I'm doing wonderful. And how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to see you. It's been a few years.
It has.
It's been a few years since we
Too long.
Yeah. since we worked together.
That's right.
In Europe, doing a show probably about 4 years ago.
Was it that long?
It seems like
that.
it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
With we went on tour with some other artists.
Yeah.
And I think that was our second time doing a tour together.
It was.
In Europe.
Uh-huh. And I was very happy.
Yeah. I enjoyed
to see you and hear you.
It's such a pleasure to talk to you. The music that you've recorded has stood the test of time. Your hits, especially Misty Blue. Your voice sounds like butter. Just smooth.
It is a blessing.
You started singing gospel like a lot of us did.
Yes.
And you were raised by your great-grandmother, right?
That's right. I sure was.
Did she sing as well?
She sang. Yes, she did.
And your mother sang?
My mother sang. My daddy sang.
Your father, he was one of the 5 blind boys of Mississippi.
Yes. Well, let me tell you how he got on there. Everybody was blind except him. He was the driver for them. He wasn't singing with them.
Okay.
They'll strike up a tune. Everybody go to harmonizing in the van or whatever they was in. He busted in on, gave him a note or two, started singing too. They said, "What? We didn't know you could sing."
Really?
You know. And so that's how he got in the group.
Okay, but then he started the Soul Consolators.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh. And how long did that one last?
I guess that was just several years or something like that.
Okay.
Uh-huh. But yeah, he was a singer too. My mother was a singer, and
so it just came natural.
Well, in a way, because my great grandmother raised me.
Right.
I didn't stay around my mother or my father that much.
Okay.
So it was something natural.
Did she teach you how to sing?
Mm-mm. She said that she noticed that I had a vibrato at the age of 3.
Okay.
I wasn't, just singing something, but I had a little, and she noticed that then. And so at 5 and 6, I was the lead singer of my choir, church choir, one of the lead singers.
Your first solo contract was with who?
Epic.
Okay.
Epic Records. Out of Nashville, Tennessee, and Billy Sherrill produced the Poppy's album, who also produced Tammy Wynette.
Okay.
And a host of other stars like that.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, God was just there. He really...
It was just something to be. You were supposed to move on and just do your own thing.
I didn't have anything to do with that. It was God.
Yeah.
A knock at my door late one night. This man said he was looking for a girl. He had heard about a girl that was a singer that lived here. And he just opened up a recording studio, and he wanted to talk with her about recording.
I'm sure you were really surprised at that.
Honey, I jumped up. I had my bed, the house that I lived in, they used to call them train build houses. And the reason they did that, the bedroom was here, the dining room was here, another bedroom here in the kitchen. Okay. And you can just stand in the door and see all of it. Okay. And so that's why they call it train build houses.
Interesting.
And anyway, my room was at the front door, in the room, where the front door was. Mm-hmm. When I heard that he was looking for somebody to sing, you usually get up on the side of the bed to get up. Uh-huh. I stood up in the bed and walked out of the bed and jumped down, and I was in the door in front of my great-grandmother. It's me, And so that's where it all started.
And she said, yes, go ahead, let her do it.
But she was kind of strict about me doing it right away. She said, "We'll get back. We'll talk."
Did she sign the contract for you?
She did. She signed the contract.
So how much were the contracts back in those days?
Some of them have the same thing. Wasn't much. I talked with some major stars. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was like 2%, 3%, 4%, if that. It might not have been that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But even after that, you didn't get all your royalties. I was one of those.
Okay.
So
continues
anyway,
continues.
Yeah.
Well, we know.
I didn't know anything about entertainment lawyer at that time.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel you were with Malico? Mm-hmm. You were with Bolt, Chimneyville. Mm-hmm. But in all of those, dealing with all of those record
But I only
labels,
did one record with those people. It was 45s back then. They wouldn't cut an album. They just cut a 45. That was the little bitty thing with the, the little hole in the front.
I still have 45.
Well, Mr. Blue made it big from that 45. It was the 45 that did everything. It put the 45 out.
And the rest was history about that one.
Uh-huh.
Did you learn dealing with each label how to, I want to say, maneuver in this business, or learn anything going from label to label?
Well, the only thing I just learned, as far as my craft.
Yeah.
I learned that because I was doing background singing too. Mm-hmm. You know that song, Mr. Big Stuff?
Right.
And the part that said, "Oh yeah."
Right. Yeah.
You listen real good, you hear Dorothy Moore singing.
Okay.
I was a background singer for that, one of the background singers.
That was a hit for G-Night.
Yeah, I was a background. So I did background singers for her and Johnny Taylor and all those people, hoping one day that, it would be me. And I was just in awe of, those stars. Wow.
Yeah.
Never knowing that one day I was going to open up or, work with those people.
With you doing all the background, a lot of the background singing and stuff. And I guess maybe in a way you were kind of biding your time.
Yeah.
Because you figured
it wasn't my
later.
time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It just happened.
Later.
Yeah.
It would happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Misty Blue was the one that made it happen for you.
And back then, in the 70s, it wasn't videos that we depended on.
Exactly.
It was the people and radio who made me.
Right.
DJs. Radio stations. Yeah. Then I did a lot of drops. Mm-hmm. Also, too, believe it or not, Mr. Blue was out during the disco time. Mr. Blue started out as R&B. It crossed over pop. I did some country and western TV shows. Ralph Emery, I don't know if you ever remember him. He had TV shows. And then I did it. Now it's blues.
Yeah, but it was originally recorded by Joe Simon and Wilma Burgess. Never heard of Wilma Burgess.
I didn't either.
Joe Simon, yes.
I didn't even hear it was another voice that I heard when they first played Mr. Blue for me to listen to it and see if I liked it. I got a call from my record producer, and he wanted me to come out and listen to this song and see if I liked it. And so I went out and listened to it and heard it, and I said, "Yeah, I like it." He said, "You want to cut it?" I said, "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, go in," and he always had a rhythm section there just in case someone, they was getting ready to file bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
The Malico.
Really?
And they always kept a rhythm section there just in case someone would walk in the door and might want a track or something laid. Mm-hmm. So they had me to go in and with the rhythm section and get my key. And I cut that song in one take, Mr. Blue.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then they put it on the shelf for 2 years.
Why do you think was it because of the disco?
I don't know what it was. I don't know what was going on. I don't know why, but they didn't feel that it was time. And they put it on the shelf for 2 years. I recorded that song in 73.
Yeah.
Without the harm.
Okay.
They put it on the shelf for 2 years, and I received a call from my producer again, letting me know that they was getting ready to release Mr. Blue. And I told them to wait to let me come out. It's something I wanted to put on there. That I told him I didn't want to tell him, whatever, because I didn't want to get in a conflict or a debate about it. So I went out there and I told him just roll it, and when I do that, you can cut it. And that was the harm that I put it on Mr. Blue 2 years later.
Wow.
That's the harm you hear at the very beginning.
That's so. I guess maybe the song really wasn't quite finished.
That was it. That's what I think.
Maybe it was.
It just wasn't the time, the right time. Yeah. It was the right time for it.
And they always say timing is everything. And maybe they knew best. Maybe, or something said.
I don't think anybody knew anything. We just was cutting, wanted to be stars, and they wanted to be a big studio. That's what it was. Wow. They were beginning to, their thing too.
Did they have a lot of different artists?
Not at that time. It was Jean Knight. I don't know. I think Jean Knight just cut there. I don't know if she was on that label.
Okay.
And they also recorded King Floyd. And that was it that they had.
Really?
Uh-huh. The gospels and everybody else came on after I left.
Okay.
All of that. And Johnny Taylor too.
Okay.
But I just kept doing background singing, and it just, I tell you, it was something. Trying to keep the peas on the table until Mr. Blue happened.
And then after that, did your life change?
Oh, Lord, it changed. It changed. I had the little job that I worked every fall. It was called school pictures. They used to go and take pictures at different high school, different elementary school of the kids, and put it in annuals. And that's what I did for about 2 or 3 months every fall.
Okay.
And Mr. Blue was playing and just kept playing. And every time you look up, it was, and I got a call and said, listen, you have to get on the road. I said, the road? I didn't know if I ever had to get, what was the road?
In the years between the
I know we jumping ahead, but I don't want that's me jumping ahead.
That's all right. No, I was gonna say in the years in between Misty Blue, were you doing other kinds of work other than singing?
I never have. Only thing I did, like I said, school pictures. That was it. Background singing.
I
was married.
Okay.
When Mr. Blue came out. And so my husband was the provider of it. I didn't have to worry about it.
Gotcha.
At that time.
And you had 2 kids?
I had 2 kids.
All right. Yeah.
And so I didn't have to worry about it. But whenever I did work, my money was my money. And his money was my money. I'm just kidding. Right. I had to put a little joke in there, sense of humor. But
I understand.
I had to do that. But no, that's the way we that's the way we did that. And but it was very comfortable for me to get out there, and everything changed, I tell you. Because I have done everything, have been everywhere, and still with everybody who is somebody I'm just, oh my Lord. Oh, and when I got to perform with you, it was just, I know I had just reached just the heights of my career. Look, I love you.
It's funny because I remember singing those songs when I was little younger.
Did you have a 12-inch or something like that? Yours was 12 inches?
No, 45.
Yours was 45 too?
I've got 45s of a lot of different artists.
Wow.
I could not bring in an album because my parents were very strict as far as music.
Wow.
So the same people you listen to are the same people I listen to.
I would listen to Shirley Caesar when it came to gospel, and Oh, I can't think of who else. The group that she was with, the Caravan.
Caravans, yeah. Yeah.
And those are the people that I sang their songs. And then I was singing Aretha. I was singing a little bit of I did Diana Ross because she was with the Supremes. I did her. Someday We'll Be Together, something. That was my thing. I did everything what was going on. It was everything. I was saying the blues or whatever.
Well, I believe you can sing it all.
No.
Even yodel, I understand.
I did a little yodeling.
What? Do yodel for me a little bit.
Let me see.
Come on, give me something.
Yodelay, 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 tee. That's it. Thank you, folks. My manager just died laughing when she heard me do that. Other kids, they had dolls. Young girls had dolls and this and that to play with. I played with music.
Yeah. I did
voice.
too. I mean, rehearsing and practicing and getting in the mirror and and watching TV.
I could imagine an audience in the living room. I mean, I had a full audience, wasn't a soul at home but me.
An audience of one.
I mean, working and singing and sweating like I had done
a full show, right?
When I was little.
That is funny.
Never knowing that someday
you were getting ready.
That was it.
You were getting prepared.
That was a game. I thought it was a game.
And it turned out to be your life.
Yes.
A good one.
Yes.
A good one.
I'm thankful for that.
One.
I'm thankful for that.
So you never know when your kids are acting crazy.
Don't laugh.
When your kids are acting crazy and doing strange stuff, don't stop them so quick.
And yodeling.
Oh God! Don't stop them. Let them do because one day it just may be their occupation.
You never know.
Yeah.
So that's where it started with me.
We talked about gospel a little bit because you started in gospel and I grew up singing gospel as well. You recorded a gospel album.
Giving It Straight to You.
Giving It Straight to You. What was that, 1986? What made you decide to record a gospel album?
I was in Nashville. A fellow by the name of Steve Glassmeyer, who also played keyboards for Kenny Rogers, was there. He said, Dorothy, you ever thought about doing a gospel album? And when he said that, that was something that I had, singing gospel.
Right.
I said, no, but I'd love to, And he said he told me he'd like to do an album with me. I said, well, yeah. He said, well, let's talk about it. We'll get together and talk about it. I said, okay. And anyway, that's who produced it. He produced it, and I went up to Nashville, recorded that. And, let's see, I think most of the musicians, I know 2 or 3 of the musicians were Kenny Rogers musicians on drums and, guitar and what have you. But keyboards was Bobby Jones keyboardist who plays with him now. Derek Lee. Derek Lee.
Okay.
That's who plays all the songs on that album, Giving It Straight to You. And we cut that album, and I didn't get to work but maybe 3 or 4 concerts. I was with Shirley Caesar, Al Green, did some shows with them, and that gospel album went up to top 10 in gospel without me really working. I didn't promote that album. I did. It just put it out.
And one of the songs on there, What Is This?
The way that song got on there, Steve asked me, did I have any songs that I'd like to cut while we was in the session? I said, well, I know this song, What Is This?
Yeah.
And we did that in one take. Because I'm a child of God. I know my way around in the church.
Yeah. We sound wonderful on it.
Oh, well,
absolutely
thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you so much.
No, it really brought back memories of me being in church and thinking about my mother. In fact, because my mother loved to sing. Mm-hmm. And that would have been one of the songs.
Wow.
That she would sing. She sang the church choir.
Well, I dedicated that gospel album to my great-grandmother because even though she would take me around to all the, the secular shows and all that, I dedicate that album to her.
Oh, that's beautiful. What about your label, Ferris Street Record?
Well, when it's a no, it's a no, or when it's a yes, it's a yes, because I own the label.
Uh-huh.
That's what I like about it. I'm not a puppet, anybody's puppet. I think Dorothy Moore knows just as much as, some of the other people. As a matter of fact, when you perform it out there, you know what your audience want.
Yeah.
You do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And you sing to please.
Yeah.
And so I just have it for Dorothy Moore. That's who I have this label for. Ferris Street Records of Mississippi is the name.
Where did the Ferris Street name come from?
Well, it's the street where I used to go and do my talent shows at the Alamo Theater. It was on Ferris Street.
Gotcha.
And so that's why I named it of Jackson, Mississippi. That's because I wanted everybody in the world to know where I was from.
And you are a Mississippian from the heart.
That's right.
What do you do in your off times?
Well, I love to fish. I'm a fisherman. I dig my own worms. Oh yeah. You talking about every day. Yeah. And it really is the way you hold your mouth when you catch them. That's what they say. That's a word. That's a saying that they have.
Hold your mouth.
It's the way you hold your mouth if you want to catch a fish.
And how is that?
Well, I don't know. I think it's the way you got to know how.
Have you noticed that your facial expression changes when you catch your fish?
No. But I have different things to catch fish.
Oh.
I gotta.
Well, what kind of fish do you catch? Do you wind up catching?
Anything will jump on my hook.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Okay. I was wondering what was down in that, what kind of fish was down in that region.
Everything. And so I just like that, brim, bass, catfish.
And take it home.
Clean it.
And eat it.
And I have, 3 grandchildren, but I have 2 that's grown. They're in college. I have a granddaughter who's a senior in college and a grandson who he's a freshman. And I have a 6-year-old grandson. He's the apple of my eye.
I know it.
Yeah, he knows it. And so, but yeah. And I'm every day, but when I have to do my shows,
I'm prepared to do the shows, but after that,
do my show.
Hey,
that's it. I'm off the stage. I get off the stage. I'm it.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much for being here with me. I really, really appreciate it. I love you. Think you are such a sweetheart.
It's been my pleasure.
And hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah, we can.
And go out on the road too.
Hey.
Show them what's what.
All right now.
Thank you all for watching again. I'll see you next time, all right? Take care.
For more information on Dorothy Moore, check out the current issue of FLOD Spotlight magazine at www.flodmag.com.
Feeling something, it's been a long time since I felt something was burning inside. You got me thinking I've been missing out. I'm thinking something started moving, an avalanche I wasn't expecting. You got me wondering if I've lost my mind. Here I am just wasting time, can't erase you from my mind. Feeling something might be wrong too. Doing something I'm not supposed to. You stripped away my common sense. It must be something I can't be dreaming. Felt that blood rush exhilarating, like a breath of air in outer space. Here I am just wasting time, can't erase you from my mind. Feeling something, feeling something, feeling something, yeah. All the stardust in the air can't divert me from your stare. Feeling something, feeling something good. Feeling something. It's been a long time since I felt something was burning inside.